Noogaradio Outdoors, and you are listening on AM 1240 or 92.7 FM Noogaradio. We're also live streaming on YouTube, and we're live streaming on Facebook too. So join us there. So you can also tune in to the TuneIn Radio app. This is Cindy. I am your host, your outdoor activity events and adventure guide for our community, our awesome outdoor hub, Scenic City, Chattanooga community. And I want to know about your activities. I want you to email me. Email me at nrocindy@gmail.com. That's NRO, like Noogaradio Outdoors, Cindy@gmail.com. Tell me about your competitions, your events, festivals, golf tournaments, any kind of tournaments, anything that gets people outside. Tomorrow I'm having the Signal Mountain Players on. It's an outdoor theater. Today I have some great guests that I'm eager to introduce you to. But first, I want to tell you about Cindy's choice for a great catering option, Chicken Salad Chick. Check out their catering menu at chickensaladchick.chattanooga.com. That's Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. There's a downtown location, and they have curbside pickup there, so be sure and call ahead. That's a great convenience. There's an East Brainerd location over by Target, and soon to be an Erlanger Mall location. We're so excited about that. And again, check them out at Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. This show is to give everyone access to the activities, events, and adventures found in the great outdoors. And boy, what a great outdoors we have in our area. And we just want to help people to take full advantage of that. It's not always for lack of desire or lack of time. It can be intimidating to start new things. It can be intimidating to join new groups. And we just want to get you as familiar as possible with new activities and new groups. So it's that much easier for you to get connected and get outside and get active. And I've got two people here that are going to help me with that, with getting you acclimated to the outdoors. And I have one guest, Mark McKnight, who is with Roots Rated, and Alli Hughes is with us, who's with UTC Outdoors. I don't know why I have trouble saying that, Alli. It is a UTC. This is 3 letters. Spit it out. But hi, Alli. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
And hi, Mark.
Hello.
Hey. But I'm so glad to have both of you with me today. They were originally going to be on separate shows, but the commonality is there. We're all enthusiasts for the outdoors and getting people connected. So why not have a conversation all together? And I want to start that conversation out with just finding out a little bit more about you guys on a personal level. So Alli, where are you from here? Are you from Chattanooga?
No, I grew up in right outside of DC, up in Northern Virginia.
Oh, wow. Beautiful area.
Absolutely. Then I moved around a bit. I went to Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, and then continued to get my master's down at the University of Central Florida, UCF, another set of acronyms.
Oh, wow. You hang out in a lot of cool spots.
Lots of beaches until now.
Wow. And what is your official position with UTC Outdoors? What is your official role?
Yeah, my title, so I work in the Aquatic and Recreation Center, and my title is the Coordinator of Outdoor Programming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's rough.
Man, I love that. And how about you, Mark? Are you from the area?
I'm not. I've been here for about in and out for 16 years, but I actually moved here to work at Rock Creek. And I came from Raleigh, North Carolina, mostly. Went to school up in Virginia. Yeah. Went to Hampton, Sydney, in the south side of Virginia. Got to know the DC area pretty well through roommate, and really enjoyed that. But got essentially called into outdoor retail, and it was just something that I was always into the outdoors. Always wanted to have my own shop. I came down here, started working at a summer camp called Alpine up in Mentone, Alabama, and that's where I met Dawson Wheeler, one of the 2 founders at Rock Creek. We got to talking about the business, and he ultimately convinced me to come work here in Chattanooga. So
wow, that's awesome. I love that you said that you've been in and out. That's me. This is my 3rd time back to Chattanooga. But I've lived here for over a total of 17 years now. Both my babies were born here. I owned my first house here. But it's like I'm not from Chattanooga originally, but I've chosen Chattanooga by choice, I guess you would say. And I just absolutely love it here. And it's just so cool. I have another show. I have a marketing business, Cindy's Choice, and I really encourage people about passion and purpose. And I talk a lot about, you can be in a work situation where you don't dread Mondays. If you can find a way to tie your passion
Hard to
into,
find.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's
but you
worth
guys have managed that exactly, and it isn't it isn't handed to you. You have to work really hard at it, and it got handed to me some years ago when I did learn to. I share with the listeners often that I'm a hang glider pilot. I'm going to be getting back active in that, but a lot how I got planted in the area. We were visiting here while we were traveling, following work back in the late '80s, and I got offered the position while I was learning to hang glide to live in a loft apartment above the hang gliding shop, run the
Super
shop
cool.
Yeah,
while I
just
was learning to
terrible.
fly. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it was an absolute dream year.
Wow.
And then through this platform, I'm finding a way to get reconnected. And it's not just about, having easy access to the things I love, but it's the culture, the outdoor culture, people that appreciate the outdoors. It's just like I remember when I was a child, I wasn't encouraged to do a lot of activities or group sports or things, but we camped. And I remember thinking camping people are cool. It's like I like these people that camp.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing with outdoor people. There's just a cool vibe. There's like a purist kind of thing. And it's not just they appreciate that there's a conservancy focus there, but they really want to help others get included. And that's what I'm trying to help the listeners understand, that don't be intimidated. Most of these groups are very eager to help you to get comfortable and participate and enjoy. And there's a great benefit in that too. It's the more people we get involved in these activities, the more people that are taking care of trails and waterways and so forth like that. And the more that it benefits the whole community. So there's just many layers to this, but it just starts with getting outside. And that's what I like to do is if you're not real active, I just encourage spectatorship. Just get outside and watch things. That's a great place to start because it's just healthy to be outdoors. Now let's start. I'm really eager to hear more about Roots Rated. Mark, so tell us about that. We know your background is with Rock Creek. So tell us how Roots Rated came about.
Sure, it started.
Well, maybe better tell us what it is first.
Okay, sure. Roots Rated, and you can check it out at rootsrated.com. It's ROOTSRATED. The name actually comes from grassroots, which is the people that are really out there doing it, including the retailers, because I was a retailer when we first started it, and we had a group called the Grassroots Outdoor Alliance, and it's kind of all the Rock Creeks of the country, and we got together and we started talking about this idea that it was surprisingly difficult just to figure out where to go outside. And especially when you're traveling, you're new to a place. What we saw was that people walked into outdoor retail stores and they would ask the people that work there. And that was just a surefire way to figure out, hey, these are the people that are out there doing it all the time and they love it. And you're going to get good advice. And so if you can find the locally owned outdoor shop, you can figure out where to go outside. So we thought, okay, we have people coming in asking us all the time. And then on the other side, the founder, Finn Glover, who's our CEO, he went out and was on a road trip where he was actually working with different colleges, interviewing college kids about why are you getting outside, why are you not getting outside, what are the what are the attitudes towards the outdoors, and what are you thinking about when you want to get outside. And we actually, in that process, we sponsored it as Rock Creek, and that's how we kind of started this whole dialogue. What we found was people, almost everyone, had positive attitudes towards the outdoors and towards healthy lifestyles and getting out and getting active. But when you looked at the behavior and you matched up those two, they weren't doing it. And so then we actually started changing as this information was coming back from Finn on the road. Dawson Wheeler, who I mentioned earlier, and I started asking new questions, and we started kind of honing in on that survey. And we found other questions, and we started really focusing on the question of why there was that disconnect. And ultimately what we found were kind of two main takeaways in the statistics. People didn't know where to go, or they didn't have anybody to go with. And so to your point about getting into a community, you need to get into a community if you want to get into these sports. Most of them can't, you don't just go to Sunset Rock and start climbing. I mean,
exactly.
You need to go through the steps. You need to learn the skills. You have to have the gear. And of course, we, as retailers, we were on the gear side. The other main thing was we felt like we could solve that. We didn't necessarily think we could solve the who to go with problem. And there were platforms like meetup.com that were popping up at the time. And so we felt like that was a problem that was more or less going to be solved by somebody. And so we really honed in on the business side on the problem of where to go.
Right.
And we thought that if we tapped into the Grassroots Outdoor Alliance, and we got all of our other friends that owned outdoor retail shops all over the country that we work with all the time. We thought we could piece this together and we could do something pretty cool. And so that was the genesis really of rootsrated.com, trying to answer that original question of where to go outdoors.
Yes. And it's awesome. And you know, they're, and of course that's what Alli's doing too, within a network.
Yep.
And that's what I'm trying to do. And you're kind of doing that within a network that can encompass her network.
Absolutely.
And like even encompass my network, because I mean, we have a large coverage here. This is a small independent radio station, but we have a large coverage in the Chattanooga area. But I mean, you're just Chattanooga right now, but I see that being
we're
very
all over the country.
And
increasingly writing about actually overseas experiences too,
because that's
really fun.
People, that is one of the coolest things about outdoor activities is I meet people from all over the world. I mean, it's always easy for me to use the hang gliding as the easiest example, but it happens in other activities too. I mean, I fly with people from Russia. I fly with people from Australia. I fly with people from Costa Rica. It's like, because that's what they do when they vacation. They go and go to other flying areas. So if you're into paddling or you're, kayaking or mountain biking, when you vacation, you go to other areas where, there's other people doing this. So it's very interesting to meet. What's the word? It's a very eclectic group of people. And that is another, I'm glad I brought this up. I haven't brought this up on the show yet. That is another really cool thing about these types of activities. It's like when I have a hang glider on my roof and I pull up to a hang gliding site, I have instant friends, instant family. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter how you label yourself politically. None of that matters. You have one thing in common, and that's what you're focused on. And that just gave me like full God chills, because that is huge. And that's kind of the message I've been trying to get across to people, is there's just so much more to it than getting outside and I'm not trying to be this, this reminder, get your exercise. You need your exercise. There's so many levels of benefit to getting involved with outdoor enthusiasts and getting outside. So Alli, let's throw it back at you with UTC Outdoors. It's kind of like you're doing the same thing, but it's just it's just personal, because you have a network of UTC students and UTC I gotta slow down.
We'll get it.
Alumni that you help coordinate.
Oh yeah. So kind of the same thing that Mark was talking about. There's that need of, I don't know how to do something and I don't know where to do that something. So what's really neat about our program is we've got a 47-foot climbing wall, a boulder, a trips program, and a rental center. So kind of the funnel idea here is that students, faculty, staff, and alumni can sign up to come on one of our trips, and we go hiking, biking, caving, climbing, surfing, backpacking, horseback riding, all those things, hang gliding. That'll be coming up this fall. Where we provide all the instruction on how to do it. We provide all the equipment that we're going to need for that. Food, transportation, everything to really help the UTC community get out and learn something new. Because you're right, you can't just walk up the Sunset Rock and know what you're doing unless you have some guidance. And so we have student-run trips. I go on some of them, but most of them are all student-run. And so it's students taking other students out.
Oh, that's ideal. Yeah.
And that right there, you've got that connection that Mark's talking about, where you find people who are also just learning. Or maybe you're making friends with the staff and you're like, cool, well, they're going out regularly. I want to do that too. So you're really bridging that informational gap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And because, I mean, there's so many things you hit on that are relevant here. It really is just about knowing where to go and who to talk to. And already, you're listening, you're hearing Alli's voice, you're hearing Mark's voice, and you're getting familiar. I mean, think about how does a realtor farm a neighborhood? They get their picture all over the place. At some point, you feel like you know them, and it's so easy to pick up the phone and call them. It's weird how that works. So the more Mark and Alli will be regulars on the show, inviting you to Roots Rated and to participate into UTC Outdoors, and just as a community initiative to encourage people and help them understand it isn't just, Alli's mainly helping UTC students, but she's this type of person will encourage everyone. Look, if you're not a UTC alumni or a student, go on Roots Rated and find your activity. And again, I'm lining up different guests that will help you connect. And something you said I really liked was you don't just pull up. And you know, it doesn't matter how skilled you are, because I brought that up with I had Sorba on yesterday, the Southern Off-Road Bicycle Association, and that was one of my things. I said, you know, even though you're an accomplished, there's people at different levels, and they don't know what level they're at, and that they show up at the wrong. Because I've done this personally, if they show up at the wrong trail, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
So, and especially like when you're dealing with kayaking and you don't know the waterways, and the people that have kayaked a long time, they know where the stumps are. They know where that big hidden rock is. Exactly. So, but again, it can be intimidating to get started and get connected, and that's what we want to help you do. So, tell me, let's swing it back toward Mark. Mark, with the Roots Rated. So, where does it begin? You go to Roots Rated, and where do you begin when you hit the site?
So from that consumer side at rootsrated.com, it's pretty simple. There are kind of two elements to what we do. One is the activity finder, and it'll ask you, it just says, I want to go do this, and I want to do it in this place. It's already going to know where you're coming from your IP address.
Okay.
So if you're in Chattanooga, it'll already know that. It makes it easy. If you're using some kind of VPN or something, it might say you're in New York. But for most people, it'll already know where you are. And it'll have the number of activities, and there's mapping on there, so you can look at what's kind of close to you. And then the other side that is big for us and drives about half of the traffic actually is just storytelling. It's kind of ongoing storytelling of the outdoor lifestyle. And on that side,
I love that.
One of the things, one of the things that we wanted to do, and when we say Roots Rated, the rated part that comes in, is that we really felt like a lot of the stuff you could find online already, but you didn't know what was actually worth your time. And it's in the names of some of the websites that were around at the time 5 years ago. Alltrails.com, everytrail.com, and they're still around, but basically they're doing SEO optimization. They're trying to get every single trail. They're pulling old data out of guidebooks.
It's just informational.
It's too much. It's too much information. So it doesn't really answer that question of, okay, what do I do right now? What's not going to waste my time? And for a traveler, we're very much oriented towards travelers. And if I have 2 hours before I'm going to be on this show, I just flew in from Houston. Well, what am I going to do that's not going to waste my time and I'm not going to get lost? And it's just going to be a great 1 hour run. That's the kind of thing that we're trying to do. So if you think about from the business model perspective, that means that there's a natural limit to how many things we actually want to have covered. We don't want 2,000 activities in Chattanooga. We want the ones that matter. And so we're not going to cover things that we don't think are worth your time. And so we're bringing it down to the things that we really think that you're going to enjoy and that you should do. Well, then that leaves us with this problem of, well, now what do we do for a business model? I can talk about that on your other show forever, because we have a whole content marketing platform.
Well, you'll be on there, trust me, because that's a startup like that you've got a great story.
Yeah, and you have to figure it out over time. Because we want this resource to exist, you have to figure out how to pay for it. And there are a couple of things that we've done, but one of the big ones in most of our business is this content marketing platform that's on the backside. That we actually license out to brands so that they can speak to their customers in a really local and authentic way. But you mentioned your sponsor earlier, Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Foundation in Tennessee has been a huge sponsor for us, specifically in Tennessee. And they came to us because they wanted exactly what you're talking about. They wanted to inspire people in Tennessee to get outside and to get started. And so we've actually written a ton of stories about just how to get started. And what do you do if you're interested in hiking, but you really haven't been hiking? You didn't grow up hiking. If you come from a culture where your family didn't hike, it can be intimidating. You think there's snakes everywhere and bears and all this kind of stuff. All that stuff exists, but we all know that it's very rewarding. With a little bit of preparation and some good storytelling behind it, you can really get people out and get them to have a good time.
Exactly, and that's it. If it's and it's not that some of these things aren't dangerous. They're but
inherent risk.
Any group, any club, and this is how you'll know if you're connected with the right organization. They're going to talk about safety first, and it's always safety first. And it is a very small part of anything. Like people think that I'm afraid of caving. I'm going to have, was that what it's called?
Yeah.
Caving?
Yeah.
I'm going to have somebody on to talk about that.
We
And
can take you.
I'm like, I don't think I'd be comfortable scuba diving. And people are like,
Mm.
really, Cindy? You'll run off a mountain, you'll fly without a motor, but and I'm like, I get very
different. Everybody-
claustrophobic.
It's
I don't like
definitely
feeling
different.
trapped. I'm up there in the open free air. I mean, I got plenty of places I can go.
Mhm.
But, there's this, but at the same time, I'm sure that if I took it in baby steps,
Mhm.
just the way I did with the hang gliding,
Mhm.
because it does intrigue me. I think that would be, I love exploration and
Mhm.
exploring. And oh my gosh, scuba diving would be amazing. So I don't want to let that,
Mhm.
my focused fear keep me from trying that,
Sure.
because I've done enough things now
Mhm.
where I realize, and I can share with others, it is absolute baby steps. I ran the glider on flat ground before I ever went 5 foot up the hill.
Of course.
Then 10 foot up the hill.
Yeah.
Pretty soon
Yeah.
I'm flying off a 30-foot hill. It's like, and that's the way it is with every
Mhm.
activity. You just start with baby steps. And I'm one of those people. They called it a intermediate syndrome. I tend to push the limits, and and I would get hurt,
Mhm.
but I had to learn the hard way that was me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was what they call pilot error. And you have pilot error in any field. You got to
Mhm.
choose your conditions, choose your sites,
Mhm.
choose your level, and take your time. So once I started managing my pride,
Mhm.
I did a lot better. So I love that. And folks, all these people understand that everybody's been through it. There's
Mhm.
no judgment. Because I'm one of those people, I don't like to be the slowest one in a group. So
Mhm.
I want to start at that very beginner group.
Mhm.
And then I find I've done enough things, I'll outgrow that group
Mhm.
pretty quick. That's where I like to start, because I want to make sure I'm not holding anybody up. And I love that. We're all in sync with that. And I just want to remind the listener, you are listening to Noogaradio Outdoors. You're listening on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM Noogaradio. I'm Cindy. I'm your host, outdoor activity, events, and adventure guide. I'm visiting with Alli Hughes, who is with UTC Outdoors. I want to
Nailed
say
it.
UTC Outdoors. And Mark McKnight, who is, what is your role with Roots Rated, Mark?
CMO is my title, and then co-founder.
Awesome. And I'm loving hearing and understanding about that. And you can check that out at rootsrated.com.
Mhm.
Alli, how would UTC students or alumni, how do they get connected with UTC Outdoors?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have a valid ARC membership, Aquatic and Recreation Center. And you can live with somebody to get a membership. So if you have a significant other or roommate, brother, sister, whoever that had gone to UTC or currently goes, and you guys share a piece of mail, you can then sponsor that person as a Mach 1 membership. And so that also gives you opportunities to everything we offer as well. So you would just have to either stop by the Aquatic and Recreation Center or give us a call. It's a good way to get started.
Awesome. Well, that's great information. And we're going to take a break here, but we will be back to visit with Alli and Mark after the break. And I just want to remind you that Cindy's choice for a great catering option is Chicken Salad Chick. Check them out at Chicken Salad Chick, Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com, Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com, downtown location, East Brainerd location, and soon to be an Erlanger location. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back.